Welcome to part 3 of the How to Start a Blog in 2019 series playlist. We have already covered the title and the URL and the categories and the tags. Now let's move down to our next option, which is featured image. What I'm going to show you really quick is how to create featured images from templates in Canva, which is a free platform. However, they do have a paid option as well. I do not have any special link for that right now that I know of, but I'm going to show you how to use it so that you can get started with creating something. Now, if I were to go over here to Canva, you can see here that what I'm doing with this playlist is I'm creating thumbnails that will just be a part of each one of the playlists. So for my blog, I'm just going to have one that says how to start a blog in 2019, and it won't have this part 3 in it, right? And then for each of the videos in the series, I'm going to have them based on their parts. So all I have to do in order to create this thumbnail is I can just come over here to the Canva blog and I can create a design. Now you can see here you have square social media posts, you've got presentations, you've got posters, you've got Facebook covers. I typically will go over here to blog banner. I also like using the YouTube templates, the YouTube thumbnails, and they cross over pretty well. But let's just go ahead and say, oh, okay, I like this one. What you can do is if you like to keep things cohesive, let me show you what it looks like here. On your blog, if you have a website where you have several blogs displayed at the same time, it might be worth it for you to keep them cohesive like I've done here. You can see that everything's real clean. I'm just using the same template over and over again. All I'm doing is changing the title and I'm changing the image in the background. And this just keeps it so simple. If I were to go over to LoriBallen.com and do the same thing, because I have the same theme, I like to have my blogs displayed in a particular order. You can see what it looks like when you don't have them exactly the same. It does change the layout, so you have to decide what you actually like better here. If you like them all to be the same color scheme. Now what's cool about Canva, by the way, is that you can actually set up a brand color template. So let's just say I'm creating this blog series for my 7th Stream website, this one over here, and everything here is this green color, right? So all I have to do with this is I say I like this, but I want this to be the same color as my brand. So I can go here and click on this yellow. Up here, I can change that yellow. Now look, I've saved my brand color. So for each of my websites, I have a color board. So my Midlife Monarch is purple and blue. My Keto Days is green, purple, and black. My Real Estate is maroon, gold, and black. My IDX Broker is all blue. So whatever theme it is that I'm using, I can go down. So in this particular case, I want to do 7th Stream. So I'm doing these colors here for my thumbnail. See how great that looks? Now I can just change this, the yellow here, to that same green by going down to my panel, and there I go. Now I'm actually able to keep this cohesive with that website if that's what I want to do. So this is super easy. You can also make your pins in here. I have lots of other videos on how to use Canva, but this is going to be how you're going to be able to easily create your thumbnail images on your blog. And where are we at here? Okay, so all you have to do now is go to Set Featured Image. You're going to go to Upload, but oh, you know what? Free keyword tool. Okay, so I'm not going to make one right now because I don't want to take up too much time on the video. I'll do it when we're off video. But let's go to Set Featured Image. Go to Select Files. Once you upload, you can upload which one you like. How to Start a Blog in 2019. Okay, now really quick, I do want to show you proper SEO for search engine optimization. Right here where you have this alt text. This is where you want to type something in that describes the image to somebody who can't see the image. So maybe they're playing this off on an audio recorder. Maybe it's somebody who's visually impaired and they've got something reading to them. So you could just put Lori Ballen is standing in a black leather jacket with the words Lori Ballen, 6-figure affiliate earner, and next panel reads how to start a blog in 2019, part 1. Okay, you see how that works? And then I'm going to click select, and now we will have this as our featured image. Now, as we continue along with the series, I'm going to show you where else you might want to use that image, because here it's strictly the featured image. That means depending on what template you're using, in my case, this image does not automatically show up anywhere on the page. So if I want it to actually show up when the person's reading the blog, I'm going to have to insert it somewhere, and I will show you that. But what this does is after we publish the blog, if that blog is shared to Facebook or to Twitter or to any other social media, or it shows up on a blog digest, this image then is going to show up. So this is not to show up on the page. This is to show up on after it's published on shares and on directories and digest. So it's important that we have that there, okay? In the next video, we are going to start on the intro and on the excerpt on the actual blog.